That's what this lesson is telling us. We're entitled to this. I think when we're in a spiritual community, many times we diminish the importance of happiness. But as I told you the other day, I listened to, anytime you watch the Dalai Lama, he's just a little bubble of joy. He's always joyful. And there's such a sense of happiness inside of him. And I think that happiness has gotten a bad rap. It's like, oh, we don't want to talk about happiness. That's not deep. That's not spiritual. And yet all of us want to laugh. All of us want to have a sense of humor. And I think that we're finding now more and more that even in the news media, they look to see, I'm always amazed if I ever watch any of the Sunday morning news shows, they always, if you're NBC affiliate in some way, they're always showing you what happened on Saturday Night Live the night before. And that's always on. If you watch some of these news feeds, you'll get what Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and, all these, can't think of all the other ones, James Corden or Seth Meyers, or, Colbert, Stephen Colbert, thank you. You get these guys little snippets of what's going on because everybody's laughing about it. They're just having a good time. I heard it said that we just had our vice presidential debate on Tuesday night, and they said, the pundits were talking, certainly they don't talk that much about it because it's like, who cares? That's what they said about it. I thought it was kind of interesting, but they said it won't really mean anything until we hear the comedians talk about it. I heard the Washington Post say that. He said that'll really make a difference to the public is when the comedians start talking about it. It'll be interesting to say. And they said this, and I thought, what a telling statement. What's Saturday Night Live, how it covers this. How Saturday Night Live, how it is covered through comedy. Now, we've had comedy since politics began. I don't know if that's a commentary, but we've always used cartoons and humor to highlight our political candidates. I remember when we went to Washington, D.C. a few years back, and they had just opened the new museum there. It was all about the news and the culture of news. It was a museum about news, and it was fascinating how, news has changed over the years. But they had a little exhibit about political cartoons, or just cartoons over the years. And they go way, way back to when, everybody was hand drawing them. Of course, they're all hand drawn, I guess, still. I suppose some of them could be computer generated. But you're going back way, way back in time. Even when the Lincoln Douglas debates, those guys were drawing cartoons, about the things that were going on, and probably even farther back than that. I don't know if during the American Revolution, they were drawing things and making fun of this or that or whatever. And I think that what the humor does is just kind of get us out of ourselves, doesn't it? And get us out of the sense of this is so dire. And again, this is not about laughing at people, but this is about taking, and I believe that's really what the sense of humor was to get us out of the so desperately serious, so that we can have a lighter touch and allow, the truth to pop into our minds. I remember when I was, probably in my 20s or 30 or something like that, and I would talk to my mother and I would be saying, this is really serious. And she said, oh, is it really? Is it really? And, of course, that just infuriated me because, of course, I was serious and about whatever it was, and this was serious. And my mother was always like, I just don't think it is as serious as you think it is. And as we age, we can look at younger people and go, really? I know you think this is incredibly serious, but this too shall pass. You shall move through this, and so forth and so on. And I think probably Jesus, and God too, if he were to see the illusions of the world, would say, oh, this is such a good joke, and you guys are going to awaken in such joy. Don't take this so serious as you think it is. Now, I'm not diminishing people's issues that they're going through, and I'm not trying to make light of any of that. I'm just saying that I think that sometimes when we can just rise above the all-time seriousness of these things, we begin to see a higher perspective. Just like the Course always says, is to rise above the battleground. When our heads are down in the fray of everything, we miss really what is going on. And it is moving to that higher perspective. The Course even says the world will end in laughter. I love that comment in the Course. How beautiful could that be? It says because it's a place of tears. So it's going to move past all this suffering and pain that we are going through.